The holding cell stank of ammonia and fear. Orla pressed her back against the cold metal wall, watching the Zarathi guards shuffle past on their six-segmented legs. Their compound eyes glittered in the dim blue light, tracking every movement of the prisoners with predatory precision. She'd been here 3 cycles now, or was it 4? Time blurred in the processing center. "Keep your head down," Lewis whispered from the bench beside her. His dark hair was matted with sweat, and purple bruises mottled his jaw where a guard had struck him for speaking out of turn. "They're taking another group to the scanner soon," Orla nodded, pulling her knees to her chest. The Zarathi had raided the mining colony on Kepler 442b without warning, sweeping through the settlement like locusts. They'd taken everyone, miners, engineers, families. Hundreds of humans, now property of the Convergence. The Empire needed labor. Humans, it turned out, were cheap. A metallic screech echoed through the corridor as the cell door slid open. A Zarathi officer entered, its translator device crackling to life around its throat. "Next group. Line formation, now." 20 prisoners stumbled to their feet. Orla found herself swept up in the mass, Lewis close behind her. They shuffled through narrow passages, past cells packed with beings from a dozen different worlds. The Convergence fed on the desperate, the conquered, the forgotten. The processing room was vast and sterile. Banks of scanning equipment lined the walls, humming with energy. Zarathi technicians worked at terminals, their mandibles clicking in rapid communication. At the room's center stood the identity verification array, a towering column of crystal and circuitry that could read genetic markers, implant data, even residual neural patterns. It determined your worth. Your price. Your future. "Forward!" the officer barked. One by one, prisoners stepped into the scanner's blue beam. Most results were mundane. Colonial worker, asteroid miner, contract laborer. The Zarathi recorded the data with mechanical efficiency, assigning each person to a labor battalion or industrial ship. Orla watched a young woman, barely 20, get classified as agricultural drone. The woman's face crumpled, but she didn't resist as guards led her away. "Next." Lewis stepped forward. The beam washed over him and holographic text materialized in the air. Lewis Chen. Human. Origin. Earth. Occupation. Structural engineer. Classification. Technical labor, grade 4. Acceptable, the technician chittered. Processing bay 7. Lewis shot Orla one last glance before guards escorted him away. Then she was alone at the front of the line. Next. Orla's legs felt like lead as she stepped into the scanner. The beam was cold, invasive, peeling away layers of privacy she'd never considered before. Data streamed across the displays, her height, weight, bone density, neural activity patterns. Then the system froze. Warning klaxons blared. Red light flooded the chamber. Zarathi technicians scrambled to their terminals, mandibles clicking in agitation. The lead officer surged forward, its translator crackling urgently. "Impossible. Run it again," the scan repeated. And again. Each time the same result blazed across every display in the room. Maya Torres, human, origin, Earth, classification. Restricted access, security. Clearance, Omega Black, status. Earthborn citizen protected under Treaty of Proxima. Orla's mind reeled. Maya Torres? She'd never heard that name. She was Orla Mackenzie, a nobody from a nowhere colony. This had to be a mistake, but the Zarathi didn't think so. The lead officer's translator sputtered with what could only be panic. "Impossible. Earth hasn't sent citizens to colonial space in 40 years. The treaty is clear," another technician interrupted. Earthborn citizens carry diplomatic immunity across all Convergence territories. If she's truly Earthborn, then we've just committed an act of war. The room erupted into chaos. Officers shouted over one another. Technicians frantically pulled up databases, cross-referencing signatures and genetic markers. Through it all, Orla stood frozen in the scanner's beam, her heart hammering against her ribs. Earthborn. The word meant something out here, something she'd never understood from her backwater colony. Earth, humanity's cradle, the homeworld, held a special status in galactic law. After the Proxima incident 40 years ago, when humanity had obliterated an entire Convergence fleet that threatened Earth, the Empire had granted Earth citizens a protection no other species enjoyed. Touch an Earthborn, and you touched Earth itself. And Earth, small as it was, had proven terrifyingly willing to defend its own. But Orla wasn't from Earth. She'd been born on Kepler 442b, like her parents before her. Hadn't she? Bring up her genetic profile, the lead officer commanded. Full ancestry trace. A new hologram materialized, cascading through generations of genetic data. Orla watched, transfixed, as the system traced her lineage backward through colonial settlements, transport manifests, emigration records. Then it stopped. 2 generations back. 2 names she'd never known. Elena Torres. Carlos Torres. Departed Earth 2187. Destination Kepler Colonial Initiative. She's 2nd generation, a technician whispered. But the treaty specifically includes all direct genetic descendants of Earth origin humans. There's no generational limit. The lead officer's legs trembled. In the Convergence's rigid hierarchy, mistakes like this meant execution. Get her out of the scanner. Prepare diplomatic transport immediately, and someone contact the Earth Embassy before they... A new alarm shrieked through the facility. This one was different, deeper, more ominous. Emergency lights strobed red and white. Jump signatures detected. A technician called out. Multiple vessels. They're Earth-registered warships. Through the room's observation window, Orla saw them materialize in the black. 5 sleek human destroyers. Their hulls bearing the blue and white of Earth's colonial defense force. They moved with predatory grace. Weapon systems already charging. The lead officer made a sound that Orla's translator couldn't interpret, something between a wheeze and a death rattle. Open all channels, it commanded. Broadcast our surrender. Tell them it was a mistake. Tell them, incoming transmission, the technician interrupted. It's for the prisoner. Every screen in the room flickered, replaced by the image of a human woman in a crisp military uniform. Her dark eyes found Orla through the camera feed. Maya Torres, the woman said, and Orla realized with a shock that she was using her grandmother's name, the name Earth had on file. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the EDF destroyer Vindication. We're here to bring you home. Home? Orla's voice was barely a whisper. The captain's expression softened slightly. You're Earthborn, Ms. Torres. That means something out here. It means you're never alone. Her gaze shifted to the Zarathi officer and her voice went cold. It means no one touches our people without consequences. In the holding cells below, Lewis and hundreds of other prisoners would later describe what happened next as the most beautiful thing they'd ever seen. Earth's warships, hovering like guardian angels, while Zarathi officials scrambled to release every human in the facility. The Convergence couldn't afford another war with humanity. Not when humans fought like cornered animals and protected their own with savage devotion. Orla, Maya, walked out of that processing center with her head held high. Behind her, Lewis and the others followed. Freed by a name she'd never known was hers. She'd been just a captive, a number in a system designed to grind the galaxy's unwanted into dust, until the scanner spoke her true name, and Earth itself came calling.